Victor Pelevin's satirical science fiction novella, Omon Ra, 1992, humorously portrays the now-defunct Soviet space program. The story revolves around a young man who aspires to become an astronaut but soon discovers that the reality of training is far from his idealized vision. As Pelevin's debut full-length novel, it garnered widespread acclaim upon its English release. Known for his science fiction short stories, Pelevin skillfully blends conventional genre elements with multi-layered postmodernism in works like Omon Ra. The narrative unfolds in post-World War II Moscow, where Omon Karamazov, named after the Soviet secret police, reflects on his childhood in Soviet Russia. He laments the absence of personal thoughts and constantly feels under surveillance, a stifling environment for his upbringing. As a teenager, Omon experiences an epiphany. He believes that the only means of escaping Soviet Russia is by leaving the planet. Determined to no longer reside on Earth, he declares his ambition to become an astronaut. Initially met with disbelief from his parents, Omon remains undeterred. Upon graduating from high school, Omon enrolls in a military academy, carrying his dreams of space exploration with him. However, his arrival at the academy exposes a stark contrast to his expectations. Instead of being trained to transcend the confines of Earth's gravity and Soviet Russia, the academy subjects its aspiring cadets to mutilation and torture. Space exploration is a secondary concern for the institution. They prioritize molding resilient cadets willing to endure any hardship. Omon's first encounter with danger occurs right at the beginning of his military journey, as he is required to undergo bilateral foot amputation as a prerequisite for training. Omon finds it perplexing that amputating his feet is considered a favorable course of action, but what surprises the soldiers even more is his audacity to question it. According to them, Omon should already be familiar with the story of Alexei Merciev, a skilled pilot who managed to return to Soviet-controlled territory after sustaining severe injuries in a plane crash. Omon learns about Alexei's ordeal from his fellow cadets. Not only did he save himself from the wreckage, but he also endured a grueling 3-week journey on foot, resulting in the amputation of both his feet. After a year of rehabilitation and mastering the use of prosthetic limbs, Alexei triumphantly returned to flying, never looking back. This resilient spirit is precisely what the soldiers expect from their cadets. They believe that unless Omon is willing to sacrifice his limbs, he lacks the required dedication. Reluctantly, Omon agrees to the amputation but seeks to postpone it. He wants more time to contemplate which military branch is the right fit for him, secretly harboring no intention of losing his feet. Perhaps he may even consider escaping and abandoning the entire endeavor. However, before he can act on his thoughts, Omon is unexpectedly chosen for a covert mission and swiftly taken to an underground facility beneath a government building in Moscow. There, Omon and his friend discover that they are destined for the moon. Their initial task involves assisting in the preparation of the shuttle for launch. Omon is expected to perform tasks that are typically automated, as the scientists believe in an authentic experience devoid of machinery. Paradoxically, though, Omon realizes that the scientists regard him no differently than a mere machine. Strapped into the shuttle, Omon is catapulted towards the moon. Upon arrival, he must disembark and maneuver a lunocode rover across the lunar surface. However, he finds himself unsure of the purpose behind his actions or the ultimate objective of the mission. As Omon aimlessly drives across the lunar surface, he gradually realizes that leaving Earth behind hasn't brought him any closer to finding meaning or purpose. Eventually, he receives instructions to disembark from the lunocode and place a radio beacon on the moon. This task carries the risk of jeopardizing his air supply, but Omon reluctantly decides to follow the orders. Setting up the radio beacon, he then faces an unexpected command through the radio. He is ordered to retrieve a gun from inside the lunocode and take his own life. It becomes clear to Omon that there is no way back home. Despite escaping Earth's confines, the Soviet state encompasses his entire existence. Resigned to his fate, Omon takes the gun and pulls the trigger, but the weapon misfires, leaving him in a state of confusion. With no means of leaving the moon and no one to offer assistance, as everyone assumes he is already dead, Omon finds himself at a loss. However, as he drops the gun, the scenery undergoes a sudden transformation. The surroundings brighten, revealing that he is no longer on the moon but standing on a subway platform. It dawns on him that he had been driving through a subway tunnel, planting the radio beacon on the platform. The entire mission was a simulated test to evaluate his heroism and obedience to orders. Filled with anger and humiliation, Omon succumbs to panic and flees. The military is determined to prevent his escape if he refuses to cooperate, so they give chase. Just before the soldiers can shoot him down, he manages to escape, stumbling into a crowd moving along a platform. It becomes evident that he has been unknowingly circling through the Moscow metro this whole time, trapped in an endless loop. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.